are ablaze with protests, arson, mob violence following the death of a prominent youth leader. This isn't just a flashpoint. It's the culmination of months of political turmoil, economic hardship, and rising extremism. The immediate trigger for the latest wave of unrest is the death of Sharif Osman Hadi, a key figure in the 2024 student-led uprising that toppled former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Hadi, seen as a symbol of the pro-democracy movement, died after he was assassinated. Now, what started as mourning has spiraled into destruction. Offices of major newspapers like the Daily Star, Prothom Alo and the New Age were vandalized and set ablaze, putting journalists' lives at risk in what critics call an assault on free speech. A Hindu man, Dipu Chandra Das, was lynched amid the chaos, and this is a grim reminder of the targeted minority violence. Anti-India rhetoric has surged, with slogans accusing New Delhi of meddling, including alleged involvement in Hadi's death with absolutely no proof whatsoever. Protesters have marched on diplomatic missions, leading to heightened security at the Bangladesh High Commission in New Delhi. Tonight, we'll break down the what, the why, and what it means for Bangladesh and the entire region.
An ordinary day in Bangladesh translated into violence. Under broad daylight, on the 12th of December, unidentified gunmen shot down Sharif Osman Hadi. An extremist who claimed of attacking India's northeast. He was a secessionist who failed to break Bharat. With Hadi's killing, there's complete anarchy in Bangladesh. Media house offices torched. Indian embassy surrounded. Sheikh Mujibur's residence vandalized. What has unfolded in Dhaka over the last 24 hours is a testament to the fact that it's a free-for-all rule in Bangladesh.
The Yunus regime wanted to instigate his extremists and their handful of followers with the help of other fanatic political parties and start a riot across the country. So the objective is to primarily delay the election that they themselves are talking about.
The anti-India rhetoric has been undeniable.
Very well planned, as Yunus said, meticulously designed regime change operation with Jamaat-e-Islami in full control. Now, Jamaat-e-Islami and the other Islamist organizations are still calling all the shots. Now, they're using this instance of the attack on this leader who has now died, Osman Hadi, to bring in anti-Indianism. Within seconds of this attack on him, they had called in the Indian High Commissioner in Dhaka and told him that India has done this and so on. And we know that every person whom you call from Bangladesh will say that. You know, this person is in India, we want him back. Sheikh Hasina is in India, we want her back. So this is a deliberate attempt to fan anti-Indianism and to disguise the fact that Muhammad Yunus is unable to control the situation in Bangladesh.
But the question is, for how long can the Yunus regime turn a blind eye?
There's a concerted effort that is now being made currently in Bangladesh to blame India for what's really happening on the ground. In fact, they're saying that since India is protecting the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, that is the reason why they're demanding action to be taken. And Yunus's government has been silent on this entire matter. Joining me tonight on This Is Exclusive is the former Education Minister of Bangladesh, who was essentially seen as the rising star within the Awami League Party. In fact, also seen as a close aide of former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina. Mohibul Hasan Chaudhry, thank you very much for joining me on This Is Exclusive tonight. Let me begin by asking you, grim moments currently in Bangladesh, but the entire blame, it seems, is now being heaped on India. In fact, in a short while from now, Mohibul, I'm going to put out some data of how the Pakistani ISI is essentially trying to coordinate all of this. I'm going to put out the details. I've just received an information from a source of mine. But till that time, Mohibul, could you just tell us what's really happening? What's the assessment that you all are making? And how are things going out of control now?
You see, the regime itself has orchestrated this violence. Two ministers of their government, straight after resigning from their position, has gone to the main Shahbag Square of Dhaka and has called for revenge. They have literally said that we want blood for blood. We are ready to be martyred for the cause. So just like how jihadists agitate the masses, that's how they have placed themselves to their audience. And in a pre-planned manner, they have targeted homes of Awami Leaguers. They have targeted Indian High Commission establishment and also news media outlets, which they consider, although at one point these outlets have supported them and glorified them, now they feel that they have to be also attacked because they are liberal. So that is what is happening in Bangladesh, and it is supported, assisted, planned, and deployed by the government itself, government of the day. When we were in charge for 15 years, whenever there was any attempt by these fringe elements of society, we had used the same law enforcement establishment, the security establishment, the intelligence community to curb their violence, to regulate them, to monitor them, and at times put them behind the bars. But as soon as this regime has taken power in Bangladesh, they have freed all the militant leaders. They have invited.
I've lost that line with Mohibul Hasan Chaudhry, the former Education Minister of Bangladesh. Till the time we try and get him back, I'm going to just quickly take you through the live visuals now coming in from Shahbag in Dhaka, where the protest still continues. Now, interestingly, what you are essentially seeing on your screens, many of these are part of radical groups, part of Jamaat, who have essentially tried to spread an anti-India propaganda. In fact, Mohibul is back with us. Mohibul, the question that I wanted to also ask you is that who are these people? Who are these youth groups that we are talking about? Because it seems somewhere down the line, particularly the Western nations, have started taking this entire propaganda by saying that, look here, these are impromptu protests that are taking place on the streets of Dhaka, and there is growing anger against Sheikh Hasina. These are, very organic in nature. That's the argument that is being made by these groups, the so-called youth groups.
Of course, there's nothing organic about it. When you hear how the government advisors had been speaking, what they were claiming out in the public, and how they were agitating the masses, there's nothing organic about it. All the preparations that they have taken, for example, they went to my home with gunpowder in hand. I mean, you can't buy gunpowder from a street vendor, right? So these people are prepared with whatever they have to cause this kind of anarchy. I mean, if you want to plan a crowd in Dhaka, it requires planning. It requires some level of, organization. And they had been doing it with the help of the government in place. And if you look at the behavior of the law enforcement, the police and the army, which have been deployed, the army was in deployment in the Dhaka city, not much response, absolutely complicit. Only when they have found out some of their journalists, namely Mr. Shahidul and others, who were glorifying these individuals, were stuck inside the Daily Star building, Then the army turned up and went to rescue them. But only when their interests are having to be protected, they are acting. Otherwise, they're just being silent observers. These elements were always there in the country. We've always known them, and they have gathered all their strength in the Dhaka city. It's not across the country. These are fringe elements. Chayanot, a cultural organization, has nothing to do with any kind of protest or anything. It's just a Bengali secular establishment where music is taught. You know, that's how they're targeting.
If you can just hold on to your thoughts, because I'm just putting out more details, because just before the show, when I also spoke to some of my sources to get a sense of what's really happening, why exactly suddenly is India being blamed? Now, I've just got details that Pakistani-backed ISI social media handles are essentially behind this entire propaganda. And it seems that the Jamaat-e-Islami and its student wing, the Islamic Chhatra Shibir, are the ones who are essentially behind this. And it seems the primary aim of the ISI was to basically ensure that Bangladesh descends into chaos. And this is similar to the pattern one saw during the students' uprising that led to the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. In fact, Indian agencies found out that many of the ISI-backed handles were active in large numbers, spreading fake information which clearly had a strong anti-India fervor. And ISI-backed social media handles are actually behind it. So, you know, if you actually ask anyone, Mohibul, from the Yunus administration, they would say that this is Indian propaganda. But I'm just putting out more details of which are these handles. And the Jamaat-e-Islami that was banned by Sheikh Hasina is now playing a frontal role in this entire thing.
It's not just Pakistan's military officials who have been visiting Bangladesh for the last 15 months. Known key position holders of ISI had been visiting the country, and also the political outfits who are routinely assisted by the ISI. For example, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, and the likes of Maulana Fazlur Rahman. They had been visiting Bangladesh for the last 15 months with state protocol. When you have a government who is inviting these elements into the country, who have signed an agreement with Pakistan where containers can come without being checked or scanned, who have this no visa regime with Pakistan, whoever comes from Pakistan now gets a straightforward visa. I mean, all of this points out to a close collaboration between ISI operatives and their political and terror outfits and the regime in government in Bangladesh, the Yunus regime. Unless this regime is changed, is toppled, and the military, which is now the power broker in the country, removes its support from this regime, they will continue to do what they have been doing for the last 16 months.
Mohibul Hasan Chaudhry, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure having you on my show and for putting this into perspective, because it is important that the world actually gets both sides, views of both sides. And we've also said that if at all there were certain acts that are to be probed, then there should be a free trial that should actually take place. Free and fair trial should be actually given to Sheikh Hasina at this point in time, rather than carrying out a sham tribunal. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the former Education Minister of Bangladesh joining us on this broadcast. Now, I'm going to take you to the border areas where the fallout in Dhaka is essentially showing ripple effect. Thousands have actually gathered at the Petropol border that is close to the Bangladesh area, raising anti-India slogans. So what you're essentially witnessing is that this is an attempt that is being made to target India. And that is the reason why we need to be extremely careful about the developments that are taking place in Bangladesh. Take a look.
अशांत बांग्लादेश आज बेनापोल बॉर्डर में इंडिया का विरोध करके स्लोगनिंग किया बांग्लादेश का आदमी में इसके ऊपर नज़र रख रहे हमारा इंडिया का बीएसएफ जवान ये बार बार जो बांग्लादेश में जो अशांति चल रहा है इसका आज कभी इंडिया में नहीं आ जाएगा, इसलिए हमारा इंडिया का बीएसएफ में हर टाइम सजग दृष्टि रख रहे। और पेट्टापल सीमांत में जो बीएसएफ में जो उनका स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ा है, बीएसएफ का हर टाइम नज़र रख रहा, बीएसएफ हर टाइम इंडिया सिक्योरिटी देने के लिए तैयार है। बेनापोल साइड से घुसपैठिया भी बार बार है। ये जो घुसपैठिया ये जो अभी हलचल है इसका अंदर में इस साइड में नहीं आ सकते हैं, इसलिए भी हमारा बीएसएफ में हर टाइम सजग दृष्टि रख रहा है।
Well, shift to focus now to the other big story that we are tracking extremely closely. In fact, it's a Republic investigation. We're going to put out all the details. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have been saying, India's oldest mountain range, in fact, is facing a silent but a devastating erasure. This time, not by nature, but by law. The Aravallis, North India's natural shield, are now under threat after a court order redefined what qualifies as an Aravalli hill, stating only landforms above 100 meters count. The impact is staggering. Over 91% of the range could actually lose legal protection, opening the door to unchecked mining. Already illegal quarrying has scarred a quarter of the Aravallis, wiped out 31 hill ranges in Rajasthan. Now, if the Aravallis actually fall, the ecological balance of North India falls with them. While mining to a certain extent has actually been allowed, it seems that rampant mining is actually taking place. And after this particular order that comes into picture, it seems that it is going to be a complete free run for those who are seen as the mining giants. Earlier today, my colleague Shambhavi traveled from the national capital to areas that have been worst affected, and that happens to be the Aravalli ranges in Rajasthan. Rajasthan happens to be one of the worst affected areas. It seems that the protests have been going on for a very, very long time, but there has been absolutely no national spotlight on this entire issue. Tonight, I'm going to go across to my colleague Shambhavi, who's through the day carried out this entire investigation. In fact, as we speak, on your cameras, ladies and gentlemen, tonight you're going to see yet another violation. And all of this captured on our television screen. I'm going to go over to Shambhavi right now. Shambhavi, first tell our viewers, where exactly are you in? What kind of illegal activities are taking place? You have spoken to a lot of people through the day. Give us a clear understanding, and I want you to all through focus on that illegal activity is going on as you speak right now.
Well, we are at Pawana Ahir, which is a very secluded village at Rajasthan, and till now we have covered around 3 villages, and one thing has been common, that is illegal mining all throughout the Aravalli hills. And right now I'll show you the situation because it is caught on our camera. As you can see, there are 3 trucks. When we came here, when Republic came here, this was a well-lit area. Mining was going on, and as per the DGMC order, which is Directorate General of Mine Safety, DGMS's order, no mining is allowed post sunset. So the allowed time period is between sunrise to sunset. But we reached here around half an hour ago, and this entire area I am showing you, which is pitch dark right now, this was completely well lit. There you can see there are 3 trucks who are functioning, who are carrying out the mining, illegal mining of that sorts. And the moment they saw us arriving, they started turning off the lights one by one. All these trucks who were working, they became stationary, and now this entire area, which was very well lit just 15 minutes ago, is completely pitch black. Now, even if you see, we'll also show you just a few meters ahead from us, a small light. That is the only light which is still there, which is not even 2% of the light, how well lit this area was. And that is where this entire area, there was mining going on against the law, against the order. And after being reminded n number of times, they still continue to do this. And this has been a common practice in all the villages that we have covered till now. And the locals have told us that this remains to be similar all throughout the Aravalli Hills, and this is before the Supreme Court has accepted the new definition of Aravalli Hills. Aravalli Hills and several of its mountains have been chopped off from the top so that they don't qualify the 100-meter criteria, which is no mountain which is below the 100 meters will be considered a part of Aravalli Hills. Thus, it will lose protection. It will lose government protection, and it'll be open to corporate affairs, to construction, to mining, and illegal mining for that matter. Once again, I'm going to show you this entire area, this mining zone that you see, which spans around 2 villages at Pawana, Ahir village. Three trucks are pretty clear, pretty visible right now. They were lit up, this entire area, several huge lights, but within a matter of 5 minutes, the moment they saw us approaching them, the moment they saw us coming, they've managed to turn off every single light. They also turned off their trucks. The trucks are stationary. The people, you can still spot people who are sitting inside using their phones inside the truck. You can see in all the 3 trucks, you can still see the movement. So they are still there. There was mining, illegal mining going on. And when Republic came at that spot, they stopped all the activity. Back to you.
I want you to continue speaking to us. I'm going to stay full frame right now, not coming out of Shambhavi right now. Shambhavi, just stay full frame. Over the next couple of minutes, next 2 minutes, I just want you to constantly focus, tell our viewers, is this an open defiance of the court order? What is it that you witnessed over the last couple of minutes? Did you try speaking to any of the officials? What are they saying there? And keep your cameras completely focused on those trucks and those limestone stone crushers that are there placed in those areas in Kotputli in Aravalli.
Absolutely. We'll again show you the scene here, the scenario. And there has been not 1, not 2, but more than 4 violations at once at every mining site that we have. First is these organizations, these corporations, they make sure that they get a lease for a cheap material, which is for most of the cases limestone. But we haven't seen a single limestone mining going on. In each of those registered limestone mining lease, there has been cement mining going on. There has been some other construction material mining going on, and they've broken every single law which is related to this mining. And this is the exact picture that we are showing you right now. The exact location you can also see in the recorded video in this area, this very well lit area. Telling you, just 15 minutes ago, this area was very well lit. You couldn't even have felt that you are, out of the city. But immediately we saw this entire area go pitch dark, pitch black within 5 minutes. I'll also show you quickly. I'll show you the person who's sitting inside the truck, who's still sitting inside the truck. He continues to he's speaking. He's trying to see if we are still there so that they can go on their merry way and begin their illegal mining, go ahead with their illegal mining. He keeps on peeking. Even this person in the truck, you can see the screen of his phone from inside the truck. So you know that this is not some random empty truck which is just standing there. There was some activity going on. That is why all these 3 trucks have a driver. I'll also ask you to please try to listen. You can still hear some of the sound. Now, on the other side of these hills, there is still illegal mining going on. I am going to stay quiet just for 3 seconds, and I'll see if you can hear the sound of the mining against the order, against the law. This is the sound which is going on the other end. We'll try and we'll go there as well, and we'll show you their reaction, how I'm very sure they'll also shut off their operations, because even on that end you can see that small amount of light on that end. That is also, there were people, they ran away the moment they saw us approaching them. There's nobody there. There are a few people who still keep on peeking. You see, there is, the moment they saw the camera look the other way, and this truck right here, we'll show you this truck right here, if you can see.
Shambhavi, I'm sorry I had to interrupt you. We're running out of time, but I'll just request you stay put there. We're going to put out the full report right now. This is the exclusive that we have got to you tonight. How exactly are the Aravalis are now being destroyed, ladies and gentlemen? A Republic campaign to save the Aravalis. That's all that we could pack in this edition of This is Exclusive. Coming up, trending on the other side.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
And as a knife attack has been reported that has claimed 3 lives till now, and at least 5 have been critically injured. In fact, what we know is that the attacker has been killed in the midst of a chase with the police who were on this trail, who were chasing him, and the deceased suspected attacker had a prior criminal record and outstanding warrants. It's reported that the house has been searched as well, the house of the attacker. And that's the breaking news. We are going to start this edition of Trending with viewers. In fact, we also have Rabindra Sachdeva also with us, who will be getting us more insights into what really is going to happen once these Epstein files are revealed, viewers. The Epstein files are going to be released tonight, and high-profile names have been doing the rounds as far as Jeffrey Epstein is concerned. Even Donald Trump's association with him is under immense scrutiny. We have a lot more packed up for you in this edition. I'm Rakshita, and this is Trending. So 3 people have been killed, 5 injured, as a knife-wielding attacker went on a rampage in central Taipei this evening before dying during a police chase. He fell from a building, and the man had let off smoke bombs at Taipei's main train station, and then he ran to a nearby subway station in a busy shopping district, attacking people on the way. Taiwan media reported earlier that at least 9 people have been injured, in fact, after a man threw smoke bombs at the Taipei main station. The city's one of the busiest areas, and he attacked people with a knife at the Zhongshan station as well. In fact, we do not know the motive yet, but we will continue to get you more updates on that story as well. And we are getting in more visuals also on that, just showing you. We can quickly go to the visuals. We can show you the state, the situation that unfolded, people in terror after that knife attack. And the attacker was being chased by the police, and he died. You can see many people who were there, and they were all running for life and, of course, for their safety, as at least 3 have been killed several others injured. Okay. Viewers, today we will shift our focus to the other story. In fact, we have Rabindra Sachdeva. Mr. Sachdeva, we will come to you on the other story as well. But also, this is, of course, a very, very disturbing situation. We've seen knife attacks in different parts of the world. This, of course, we do not know the motive yet, but it's a really, really critical situation right now in Taipei.
For me?
Sir.
Yeah, sure. No, thank you. See, as of now, and as you are breaking this news, congratulations to you to highlight such developments. As of now, I think the details are pretty sparse. Yes, there has been a knife attack. It seems the attacker, he was carrying a smoke bomb of sorts and got into a metro, the main metro in Taipei, got into the metro, threw the smoke bomb, stabbed some people, got off the second station, again threw the smoke bombs and stabbed some more. And then when the police were chasing him, apparently he went up to some building and then jumped off that building and is dead. Now, we do not know the reason what drove him, but one element could be, perhaps we do not know, could be some kind of a mental stress, mental issue, some grievance or something. So in that sense, I would rule out for the time being, unless we know more, any aspect as regards to the issue of terrorism or an agent of terror. This could be an isolated incident, somebody gone off the rocker totally and, unbalanced, disbalanced and going on this rampage. As of now, that's what it seems to be.
Right.
Taiwan generally is a very peaceful, a very peaceful society, nation. No, no divisions within the society and no extra, elements and dimensions which could indicate a terror attack. As of now, I think that's what it is. But of course, it's coming on the background, by the way, of Taiwan-China tensions and the US approving a sale of over $11 billion of defense equipment for Taiwan. So those are the contexts. But with respect to this particular incident, perhaps and hopefully it's just a one-off, somebody gone off the tangent.
All right. In fact, sir, we also move on to the other big story that we are tracking. In fact, so on with us, we have the countdown for the release of the Epstein files, viewers, has just begun. The release is looming over America today. December 10 ruling mandating said that release should be happening this Friday. And as all eyes are on Justice Department to publish the trove of documents related to the convicted sex offenders, some were impatient while others were eager to see US President Donald Trump's name cleared. And this would hopefully mark the last of man who's dead but whose shady deals have long haunted us and continue to crop up. Now, in fact, in the latest, there are multiple revelations. There are more pictures that have in fact surfaced. Just ahead of the big release, Democrats on the US House Oversight Committee have released another batch of photographs that are subpoenaed from the estate of disgraced pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein, from an intimate request form to high-profile figures and development plans for one of his private Caribbean islands. The content of the released images was wide-ranging, with no extra context provided for them. Some were particularly striking. A screenshot of a text conversation that said, "I will send you girls now." A person's body with quotes from the novel Lolita scrolled all across, those pedophilic suggestive quotes, and a swathe of passports. Names redacted, but belonging to women from Russia, Lithuania, Ukraine, and more. The photographs were selected to provide the public with transparency into a representative sample of the photos received from the estate, as per the statement put out by the Dems behind the release. Republicans have previously accused Democrats of cherry-picking images and making targeted redactions. And these are just latest piecemeal release from about 95,000 images the committee currently holds. In fact, these are not all that long-awaited Epstein files is all about, viewers. In fact, we will continue to get you more details and we have our, we will be of course telling you how this is very important for Trump and his supporters as well. US lawmakers in Congress had overwhelmingly backed the Epstein Files Transparency Act last month itself. And when Trump signed the act into law on the 19th of November, the clock began ticking on the 30-day deadline for the Justice Department to release most of its files related to investigations of Epstein. And soon enough, on the 10th of December, the district court judge in Manhattan ordered the release of records from a grand jury investigation into Epstein, thereby sealing the deal for the release. And in fact, we have global affairs experts also commenting on this.
The so-called Department of Justice under the Trump administration needs to comply with the law. And we as Democrats, led by Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, are going to continue to make sure that we're holding this administration accountable. These people who are part of the Trump administration, including Donald Trump and J.D. Vance himself, all said for years that they wanted to release the Epstein files. Then they come into office and do the exact opposite. Obstruct.
We have Rabindra Sachdeva joining us again. Mr. Sachdeva, well, you know, this is going to be really important for America today. There are many high-profile names that have come up, pictures with Bill Gates, of course, those pictures with Bill Clinton. Donald Trump's association, you know, he might say that he had severed ties long back, but, you know, it's going to be very important, and all eyes will be on the files, on the Jeffrey Epstein files. How do you read into the situation as to what implications this could really have?
Reminds me, there's a term known as a loose cannon. So the Epstein files, what they come up with and the pictures that come up with would be like a loose cannon. It could impact, hurt both Republicans and Democrats, and as well as President Trump. The issue is that, going back, the Trump administration, rather Trump himself in his campaign, and the MAGA crowd, the Make America Great Again, they've been claiming that Epstein files or the Epstein saga is heavily populated by Democrats, cozying up with Epstein and pedophilia, etc., including Bill Clinton and all. So the last many years, they've been arguing, pushing, advocating, and very loudly asking for the information which is there in these files with the Department of Justice of America, with the federal and also the state governments. They should be released because they thought, or they claim, that Democrats are the ones who were participating or are participating, or Democrat leaders or some of the marquee names like be it Bill Clinton or Hillary or you name it, whatever, would be the ones who would be tainted and, you know, would be impacted by the release of these files as to their acts. What is emerging is that it is not only the Democrat, some of the high-profile figures, it is also some of the Republican figures, including Donald Trump. Now, that opens up a can of worms, which the Trump administration, because that was a campaign promise. In fact, this was one of the main issues during the campaign, that we want the Epstein files to be made public. So now, I think the Trump administration has stumbled in managing or handling this matter. Firstly, Pam Bondi, the DOJ, the Attorney General, she said, I have the list of names on my desk, we're going to release them. It appears that she did not have any list of names, but she said that. Also, what has been coming out drip by drip, by the way, is Trump's association with Epstein, and pictures, and, you know, email exchanges, banter. It's like, you know, schoolboy banter between guys about winning over girls or scoring girls and all. That has all come out. But probably that may not hurt Trump so much, because he's been through, or he has been able to carry through this, that he's a, he's a rock star who is popular with women and he can win over women, etc. Unless there is some association which comes out, which shows that Trump participated in some such activities.
Yes.
Pictures are there. So pictures right now, it's a treasure trove, and is going to taint, hurt, aspersions, and Noam Chomsky, one of the revered figures of the liberal thought, you know, a great thinker. he also there, Bill Gates also there, you name it. What it shows, perhaps, is that the America of 80s and 90s was like a wild amongst the rich.
Right, sir.
Which Epstein cultivated and played with.
Absolutely.
Was on a wild chase
All eyes
of
indeed
women.
will be on this, and it's a big scandal that has been in the news for the longest time now. But Epstein files will be out soon. We'll talk about that once they're out. Thank you so much, Mr. Sadeva, for joining us on Republic TV. Meanwhile, viewers, the other story we're tracking, this is on the Brown University shooting. The 5-day manhunt has finally ended, at least for the suspect. The police and the FBI might just have come to a conclusive end to it. This is as the suspect in the Brown University mass shooting was found dead last night after taking his own life because there are self-inflicted wounds that have been discovered. Claudio Neves Valent, a 48-year-old former Brown University student and Portuguese national, was found at a storage facility in Salem in New Hampshire. Now, this news follows an intensive search on part of the police and the FBI teams as they have scoured through the CCTV camera footage and have swept up the entire locality in the days prior, searching for the shooter. In fact, what this tragedy that was born by the Brown University, you may ask, viewers, this week Brown University was indeed shaken up by a horrific tragedy. This is a mass shooting that happened at the university at Rhode Island of United States during the second day of final examination week for the fall semester. The gunman had entered the School of Engineering and killed 2 students, wounding 9 others as they attended a review session in preparation for final exams. Now, police said the officers immediately entered the building and they carried out a systematic search, but did not locate a suspect. Police say that the suspect is believed to be a male dressed in black who exited the building. No suspects were found right then to have been arrested, and the motive remained unknown for over 5 days thereon. Now, the shooting left the students and staff of the university scarred and traumatized alike. Now, more about the man, viewers. The man is said to be from Portugal. Now, he is the one who has been found with self-inflicted wounds. And in fact, the masses of residents living around the area were deeply affected by the shooting. People have been, in fact, really affected by it. And we have some reactions also coming in on that. We have also visuals of the vigil that was organized by the students. They went down to speak on how this wasn't an event they ever saw coming up in a space such as a university campus.
Felt that Brown is such a safe place and Providence as well, and so it really kind of hits home. And I know a lot of people were talking about this isn't something that I ever thought would happen here. We're all very sad and coming out of a period of being very scared. Everybody's kind of probably going to leave in the next few days from campus. The semester kind of got cut short, so I think I wanted to come out here in particular as a time when everybody is going to be together to be able to kind of have some closure together on the semester.
Brown has been an icon in the city. I think that this is an unfortunate incident, but I'll tell you that, tell the parents that if the kids are going to come to the city, to be sure that we're going to do what we need to make sure that they're safe.
It was terrifying for them. Like yesterday, like, I don't know, every time I saw somebody, I was just like, everyone was crying, like everyone was just hugging each other. We were so glad that one another was safe. Like, I'm really sad that, you know, that's not the case for everybody. You know, we heard like about like who the victims were, and one of them was somebody I knew, and that's just really heartbreaking, and it's been really difficult to process.
And a quick check of the trends that are running hot on social media today. Sony is paying more than a few peanuts to get majority ownership of Charles Schulz's beloved Peanuts franchise, featuring Snoopy, Charlie Brown and more. Sony Pictures Entertainment and Sony Music Entertainment of Japan announced that they entered into a definitive agreement with Canadian media company Wild Brain to indirectly acquire all of the 41% stake held by Wild Brain in Peanuts Holding LLC. Now, Sony will pay $630 million to Wildbrain for the 41% stake. With the Sony taking an 80% stake, Venus Holdings will become a consolidated subsidiary of the Sony Group. Now, Lalit Modi had thrown a pre-birthday bash infamously for fellow fugitive Vijay Mallya, the visuals of which had taken the internet by storm. And if the fugitive hosting another fugitive wasn't a fodder enough for social media, Mallya and Lalit Modi seemed to be wanting to up their viral quotient a notch higher. This as Lalit Modi took to social media, posting a visual recap of Vijay Mallya's pre-70th birthday bash. His guest list was as much as extravagant as the party setup. The party setup had netizens throw a fit of reactions as well. Former US President Barack Obama took to social media, bringing back his annual ritual, delighting admirers and followers with the recommendations from books to music, movies. The former president released his list of favorites, inviting recommendations from his followers as well, this time on his comment section. Fans online have been absolutely thrilled as the new poster for Christopher Nolan's upcoming film, The Odyssey, released. The film, which is set to hit theatres on the 17th of July 2026, already has fans raving over the plotline and cinematic experience that is a guarantee with films previously directed by him. President Trump announced that the White House will host the Patriot Games, a competition with young athletes from across the country as part of the celebration. Across the country as part of the celebrations of 250th anniversary of United States next year. He went on to claim that he envisions this to be an unprecedented four-day athletic event with one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. Former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and members of his family passed away in a tragic accident when a small plane crashed and caught fire during landing at the Statesville Regional Airport in North Carolina. The North Carolina Highway Patrol said it is awaiting confirmation from the medical examiner. But it is believed that Biffle and members of his immediate family were occupants of the airplane. The ED has attached the assets of former Indian cricketers Yuvraj Singh and Robin Uthappa and actor Sonu Sood and several others in a money laundering case linked to an illegal betting app case. The attached assets are worth over 4.5 crore rupees. The money laundering case itself is estimated to be worth more than 1,000 crore. Other notable individuals whose properties have been attached include ex-TMC MP and Bengali actor Mimi Chakraborty and actor Neha Sharma as well. Now, singer Ice Spice faced immense backlash over her outfit at the SpongeBob premiere for kids. What otherwise was promised to be a fun, wholesome event had netizens on the contrary squirming in discomfort. The outfit that the singer had worn. Many slammed Ice Spice online for her poor taste in outfits and an inappropriate dressing sense, especially when in the presence of impressionable young toddlers. And viewers, we shift our focus to now the Kiss Cam scandal. Remember the scandal that broke out on the Kiss Cam during the Coldplay concert. Now, the HR executive who was at the center of it all has finally broken silence. We are talking about Miss Cabot. That video, that particularly if you look back at 2025 videos, is one of the most viral ones, and the infamous one sporting CEO and HR officials of a global company enjoying the Coldplay concert in a warm embrace. And ever since, we've seen that there have been many speculation. Now, what we have is that Christine Cabot has now broken silence on this, viewers, and she has stepped up, addressing the rumor mill now. She's giving insights as to what really happened. She said that the cost she paid for it is that she has resigned. Now, she went on to speak about the aftermath of the viral video and how it took over her life and those of her family. She said, and I quote, "I became a meme. I was the most maligned HR manager in HR history." Now, within a few days, the internet had moved on, but for Miss Cabot, her ordeal had only begun. She said that she made a bad decision and had a couple of high noons. She takes accountability and she gave up her career for that. In fact, she went on to acknowledge that she made a bad decision. She said that it's not over for me. She says that the harassment never ended. Shifting focus to the other trends that are right now trending very, very fast on the social media. Asking her to keep it down, the incident sparked widespread attention online. Trump joked about marijuana rescheduling, says he's far younger than 65 and does not want it. Oval Office was in stitches during the signing of the executive order. Pete Davidson and his partner Elsie Hewitt have welcomed their first child and have named her Scotty. And they also posted pictures on Instagram that features the images of the couple snuggling with their newborn. Mumbai's fast-paced life posed for a rare treat as dolphins were spotted swimming close to Worli Sea Face. In a viral Instagram video, people along the waterfront are seen stopping, pointing and watching in awe as a small pod glides smoothly through the clear blue water and fins breaking the surface. Kendall Jenner was spotted out with perfume mogul Ben Gorham as romance rumors between the stars heat up. Now, 30-year-old Jenner and 48-year-old Gorham grabbed coffee at Architecture Bookstore Cafe in Los Angeles, and the model was all smiles as she and the former Swedish basketball player strolled back to the parking garage. Now, Bharti Singh, the comedian, is welcomed. Has shared some good news with her fans, and she welcomed the second child on Friday. Also, we will be shifting focus to other stories now, viewers. With that, that's all the time we could have in this edition of Trending Tonight. We'll be right back with the Super Prime Time debate with Arnab Goswami. Don't go anywhere.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने.
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो.
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता. टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात. वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है. अरे मेरे राजा,
प्लीज स्टॉप.
झुमका, तेरा झुमका, तेरा झुमका.
नॉट देयर, मेरा काउंटर टॉप टूट जाएगा.
तेरा झुमका.
मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी. What are you doing?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं.
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा. रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना.
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का.
MDH की देगी मिर्च.
So primarily, when we talk about air quality index,
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा मसाला।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा मसाला।
Please stop!
झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका।
Not there. मेरा काउंटर टॉप टूट जाएगा।
तेरा झुमका।
No. मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। What are you doing?
रानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड। दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Politicians of this country don't care for you. Parliament does not care for you. The netas don't care for you. 25% of the people of this country are suffering and dying due to pollution. But the Parliament of India has effectively told the citizens of India that, listen, we're getting into our holidays. Does the government care? The government had even time to change the definition of what the Aravalli Mountains are. And billions of dollars can be made by destroying a mountain range. This is an emergency bigger than COVID. Just because we have no effective opposition, the government gets away with a lot. You need to make the government realize that you are the opposition. No improvement in AQI, no vote. You can tell them that we are breathing poison every day. Make them answerable before it's too late. Nota for AQI.
This week on Get Me Right, three events that together signal a tectonic geopolitical shift in the world. The United States released its national security strategy paper. The UK, its intelligence and security report from the parliament. And amidst all this, China crossed, for the first time in world history for any nation, $1 trillion of trade surplus. And then the gas chamber that our national capital becomes every winter. Is there any hope, or are we condemned to live this forever? This weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
On the show tonight, why are top Muslim leaders in India silent over the continued assault and lynching of Hindus in Bangladesh? And at 9 o'clock tonight, why the Save Aravallis campaign must transform into a nationwide movement? Because without the Aravallis, the Indian subcontinent will change forever. First, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you pictures of a burning fire. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no student protest. This is no Gen Z protest. This is an Islamist mob, that has first lynched a helpless and unarmed Hindu man on a suspicious and unsubstantiated claim of blasphemy. And after having lynched him, has burnt him alive. Ladies and gentlemen, this is beyond inhumane. The problem is that all the Muslim leaders in India are quiet. The Islamist mob lynched Deepu Chandra, a worker from Maiman Singh's Bhaluka Upzilla, to death. Then they dragged him to the streets. They bludgeoned him, lynched him. Then they tied his lifeless body to a tree and beat his lifeless body to their heart's sadistic content, this Islamist mob. And still not satisfied with that, they set Deepu Chandra Das's lifeless body that was battered till every bone, and they burnt it after hanging it from a tree, Taliban style. The flames erupted as the Islamist mob chanted slogans. This deranged and mad crowd then stood capturing that camera to send the terror into the heart of every Bengali Hindu in Bangladesh, that this is what will happen to Bengali Hindus in Bangladesh. Then they stood there until the rope that was tied to the lifeless body of Deepu Chandra Das, a Hindu, gave up to the erupting flames that engulfed his body, throwing his burning body down to the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, Deepu died because he was a Hindu. And this is what is happening to Hindus in Bangladesh. Yes, Hindus are in danger. And I call upon the pro-Muslim Congress party to end its silence. For Priyanka Vadra, who fashionably carries Palestine bags to parliament, to learn to speak. To learn to speak. For Owaisi, who says Jai Philistine, to open his mouth on what is happening to Hindus in Bangladesh. To Madni, who says there must be jihad in India. To speak up. To Amir Khan, who said, I sometimes don't feel when I see Lynchistan happening, lynching happening, and other such things he claims. Sometimes I don't feel like living in India, he says. This was a private domestic conversation according to him. This Lynchistan brigade does not care at all when Hindus are lynched. Did they speak when Kanhaiya Lal was killed in Rajasthan? When these two terrorists, because there's no other word for them, Muslim terrorists, after killing Kanhaiya Lal, recorded the killing and then went on to admit that they had killed him. Did they say at that point of time one single word? Did any of these people, Amir Khan, did any of these people, the politically correct Khan Market Brigade, speak one word against the Sartan Se Juda Brigade? Did they, ladies and gentlemen, or were they politically correct then? Did 70-year-old Shashi Tharoor, who once grieved for the hanging of Afzal Guru and now sends an application every day to the BJP, do they speak about these issues? No, ladies and gentlemen. We knew that there was anti-Hindu sentiment in Bangladesh when they arrested Chinmoy Krishna Prabhu, when they assaulted a Hindu teacher in her home, when they charged 18 Hindus for sedition for hoisting a saffron flag, when they forced the principal of Bakarganj Government College in Barishal to resign. 70 Hindu teachers had to leave their jobs. We knew. But we want to know why are some people quiet? Why is Mamata Banerjee quiet? This is happening a few kilometers from Kolkata. Why is Mamata Banerjee quiet? Why won't Mamata Banerjee speak for the Hindus of Bangladesh? What should the Hindus in Bengal, in West Bengal, learn from Mamata Banerjee's silence? The only thing they can understand from Mamata Banerjee's silence is that Mamata Banerjee doesn't care about Hindus. Doesn't care. She says, I want to stand for Bengali-speaking people. Well, Dipu Chandra is also a Bengali-speaking Hindu in Bangladesh. Why are you not talking for him? The fact is, Mamata Banerjee is in the clutch of the hardline Islamist brigade. Rahul Gandhi, who is anti-CA, anti-NRC, quiet. The Lynchistan brigade, Brinda Karat, Mallikarjun Kharge, who said, don't make Lynchistan out of Hindustan, quiet. And what was the name of that actor? I forgot. Some Bhaskar. What is her name? She used to do some acting. Swara Bhaskar. She spoke about Lynchistan. Why is she quiet? There are some print journalists who said, Ye Lynchistan hai meri jaan. Now they're trying to change their ideological tilt because it's convenient to them. Nobody's reading what is in the print, and I'm using the print as a word. Ladies and gentlemen, where is the editor's guilt of India? I don't even call it the guild of India, I call it the guilt of India, because they carry editorial guilt upon them for their silence tonight when Bangladesh's leading newspapers, Pratham Alo and Daily Star, vandalized. Where is the editor's guilt of India? Were they speaking when Palghar Sadhus were killed? As president of the News Broadcasters Federation, on behalf of the News Broadcasters Federation, ladies and gentlemen, which is the largest independent group of broadcasters, news broadcasters and digital federation, I condemn the attack on the leading newspapers of Bangladesh by the Islamist mob, but the editor's guilt of India is not saying anything. And the question is, why did they start this violence on Hindus? They apparently killed a Hindu in retaliation after chaos when an anti-India radical called Sharif Osman Hadi was killed. What did Hadi do? Hadi said, I want to have greater Bangladesh, put India, Bengal, Bihar, northeastern states in Bangladeshi territory, and Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab in Pakistani territory. He's a crazy man. I'm sorry that he was killed, but he's a crazy man giving the Sarji Nizam kind of logic. I mean, is he crazy? We gave Bangladesh independence. They'll take over India. Is he out of his mind? Anyway, I personally believe it's the ISI which killed him, because the ISI has been wanting to polarize the situation in Bangladesh. And Hadi, by killing Hadi, the ISI has got an opportunity to polarize the situation in Bangladesh. And Sharif Osman Hadi, by the way, is similar to Sarjil Imam. These are people with terrorist tendencies. Sarjeel Imam has said that I can cut off India if I take over the Northeast. This is a dangerous thought. But the very fact that people are talking about the Northeast and the changing demography in Northeast and parts of South Bengal, I call upon the government of India to immediately fortify the border with Bangladesh. I call upon the Modi government to fortify the chicken's neck, because I don't trust Pakistan. They're probably creating this situation. I believe that Pakistan is provoking things to hurt our internal security. We must be careful. Madani says there must be jihad taught in schools. Owaisi says Jai Philistine. All of these thoughts, internal and external, have an impact on our geopolitics. I call upon the Modi government to realize that strong foreign policy without strong national security apparatus linking foreign policy and internal security and deep intelligence, unless you put these things together, our internal and external security are all linked. We know the impact of after Operation Sindoor. There is an inalienable link between internal and external security, and therefore we must not look at what is happening in Bangladesh in isolation. We must also look at the changing demography of India, Northeast, and states like Jharkhand and Bengal. We must increase the anti-Bangladeshi infiltration campaign. We must identify the infiltrators and throw them out. This must become part of our national ethos. We must call upon the people of India not to at all employ Bangladeshis and have punitive action taken against any Indian who directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously is providing employment to a Bangladeshi. We are in the middle and grip of a severe internal security situation, ladies and gentlemen. We can look away no longer. No longer. Let's debate.
It is an all-out open attack, an assault on Hindus in Bangladesh. This is Deepu Chandra, a young Hindu man lynched to death, his body set ablaze by a ruthless mob. The very mob that appears to have been given a free run under the interim government. Watch closely. The vandalism, the rampage, the blatant display of anti-India discourse.
The Yunus regime wanted to instigate his extremists and their handful of followers with the help of other fanatic political parties and start a riot across the country. Instead of investigating what has happened to the incident, instead of deploying law and order personnel, security personnel across the cities, they have themselves called for blood.
This is the anatomy of a system accused of taking scant action to rein in the extremists. And while Bangladesh burns, and India's top Muslim leaders have maintained stunning silence, can Hindus be safe in a radicalized Bangladesh?
Well, on the debate this evening, the fundamental issue is the silence of the Muslim community leaders. It's very sad, it's very hypocritical, but it also reflects what's going on here. You want jihad in our country, but you don't want to speak about Hindus being killed in Bangladesh. You want this Ghazwa-e-Hind approach. But you don't want to talk about Hindus being killed in Bangladesh. Tausif Khan is with us. Harish Mohammad Ibrahim is with us. Please send me the list. Atikur Rahman is with us. Talam Rashidi is with us. Priyanka Tibrewal is with us. Sushil Pandit is with us. Amitosh Parikh is spokesperson of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Amitosh is with us. Amitosh, what do you think? What do you think? Should the Muslim leaders talk about the killing and targeting of Hindus in Bangladesh?
I think we should not protect Sheikh Hasina anymore.
I think Mamata Banerjee should learn she has a voice.
Thank you very much for
I think Mamata Banerjee should learn to talk. She does not care about Hindus at all. Deepu was a Hindu, a Bengali-speaking Hindu. Shame on Mamata Banerjee. Shame on Mamata Banerjee. I don't know why he's been taken off air. Who's directing? The person speaking is not on the window.
Sheikh Hasina should not be protected anymore.
Viewers, if you're watching this tonight,
I don't
Amitosh
know
Parikh.
why we are protecting Sheikh Hasina.
Amitosh Parikh on what's going on in Bangladesh.
And the irony of the fact is,
We are giving her refuge in...
The irony of the fact is that in India we talk about secularism, but when it's come about Islamic nations, they talk about religion. And the religion teaches them radicalization. But the hypocrisy is that in India, when we talk about secularism, we talk about Muslim appeasement, like in the tenure of Mamata Banerjee, or be it a Samajwadi Party, or be it Congress, they always talk about Muslim appeasement. When it comes about Hindu genocide, and the persecution, and the ethnic cleansing, everyone, the global platform and the diaspora remains silent about it. Why we don't talk about the Rampur violence? Why we don't talk about Satya violence? Why we don't about 2014 violence? Why we don't about 2017 violence? Why we don't talk about 2017 violence? The irony of the fact is Delbar Hussain Sayyidi, when been sentenced for the life imprisonment, Hindus had been targeted in Bangladesh. Is it radicalization or is it secularism, Arnab?
I don't know. I've just been seeing the pictures of Hindus being killed in Bangladesh for too long. And I think it is time for the government of India to take a tougher line. Atikur Rahman is on the debate. I'm not sure about the line the government of India has taken, but I think complaining from the Ministry of External Affairs is not going to make a difference. We need to do something tougher. As far as Bangladesh is concerned, we need to make Hindus feel secure. We need to open the doors and let Hindus come. If Bangladesh wants to be a 100% Muslim country, let it be. Let's not leave our Hindu brothers defenseless. Atikur Rahman is on the debate. Sushil Pandit is on the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, the pictures you are seeing that are that of a Hindu youth named Deepu Chandra, who was brutally murdered in Bangladesh's Mymensingh on allegations of blasphemy. He was pulled out, lynched and burnt. Today, Hindus in Bangladesh have never been as scared of being killed as they are today. Atikur Rahman. Can't hear you, audio gone. I need to go to Harish. Producers, do your job, please. Fix the audio, Harish.
Yes or no? The religious persecution should be condemned at the highest order, whether it is related to any Muslim community or Hindu community, no matter what. These kind of hate crimes, wherever it happens, it should be condemned at the highest order. And the Indian embassy and the Indian External Affairs should take its cognizance, because the root cause was killing of 2 Indian fishermen 2-3 days before on the international borders by the Bangladeshis postal guard. So it has to be taken in that accordance, and these kind of hate crimes against Indians should be avoided through the proper mechanism of the geopolitical tension, should be eroded by the External Affairs Minister. Whether we are lapsed with the External Affairs policy decisions, it has to be discussed. But having said that, these kind of hate crimes and these kind of persecutions...
I do not have guests. Can I get an update on who's on? 1 second, I'm talking to my producers. Keep my audio down.
Arnab.
Sushil, yeah. So, Sushil.
Arnab, what I just heard doesn't make sense. When you asked him to respond to mob lynching of the most barbaric kind, he says all kinds of religious constitutions should be abandoned. I mean, what kind of this abstract, flimsy, perfunctory reaction can you expect?
Put audio down.
Why can't you condemn what you see? Why can't you name what is happening? Bangladesh is in grip of the most virulent kind of bigotry and jihad. And Hindus have been singled out as the soft target. Helpless, unarmed, literally orphaned Hindus who have nobody to turn to, nobody to protect them. And the government, the state where they belong, who have the primary responsibility to protect them, have actually turned complicit to their hunt. It's a human rights crisis of the worst kind you could see in your neighborhood. And you're absolutely right, Arnab. If there is any sliver of hope available to Bangladeshi Hindus, it is India. And if we turn our backs on them, it is the worst kind of sin that we would commit. It is none of their fault that they were left behind in a partitioned India. They did not choose India's partition. They were the consequences of an act committed by others. And if today we abandon them to their fate all over again, knowing that they are being targeted, they are being lynched, they are being hounded, as it is, they have been victims of a slow genocide over the last 75 years. Now this gradual slow genocide has stepped on the gas. It is targeted them in a spectacular, barbaric, most virulently hateful fashion. It is not happy with the slow extinction of Hindus in Bangladesh. It is exterminating them on a mass scale. They are subjected to this violence. If you remember, Arnab, last year, all the 4 Shankaracharyas came to your show and they appealed to Indian state, Indian government to intervene. Because then also, Hindu lives were in danger. They were being targeted.
Intervention can the government of India do? Okay, so let's say this. Let's put it this way. And I want Priyanka Tibrewal to come on. I want 4 windows. I want Priyanka, Sushil. I'll keep making windows through the show. I would like Tala. I would like Atikur Rahman to come in on the debate at this point. The question is, what intervention can the government of India do? I am completely sure, I am completely convinced, Tala, that the ISI has planned this situation, and I have no doubt that it is the ISI which has killed Hadi after first putting him up there. And the ISI has killed this fellow Hadi, who wanted to create a greater Bangladesh in order to provoke sentiment, and then is trying to create this Islamist sentiment across Bangladesh so that the Jamaat-e-Islami comes to power. And it is happening at a time when Khaleda Zia is extremely unwell, right? And Sheikh Hasina is in Delhi. So there is a political vacuum. And the Islamist takeover of Bangladesh will allow Bangladesh to reverse, go back pre-1971. Bangladesh will become an extension of Pakistan. So there is a clear Pakistani hand in this, right? If Pakistan takes over Bangladesh, which is a strong reality, and please remember, viewers, this man who has been killed, which has led to this, his name is Sharif Osman Hadi. He was one of the sort of prominent faces during the takeover by Yunus in 2024. He is anti-India. He was making a map of greater Bangladesh depicting Bengal, Bihar and Northeast as Bangladesh territory, and Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab as Pakistani territory. This is an ISI game plan. This is an ISI strategy. And the ISI has killed him so that they can create a more Islamist feeling across Bangladesh. Question is, what can the government of India do? What is it that the government of India can do? Let's collectively talk about that right now. Yes, Tala, you wanted to say something on that.
No, I absolutely agree with you on this point. And this is the basic question. The primary question is that why is our government being a mute spectator to all this development? And the Hindus, the minority Hindus are being assaulted, being butchered, being attacked in Bangladesh, and our government, instead of taking stern action, taking stern diplomatic objections, is rolling red carpet to Sheikh Hasina. Sheikh Hasina's presence in India in itself is further fueling this situation. This is
what do you want India to do? I think this is crazy. You want India to hand over Sheikh Hasina so that she can be lynched in Bangladesh? Huh?
On the first hand, why do we?
Why would we hand over Sheikh Hasina, who has been a friend of India and has safeguarded Indian interests, to Bangladesh? You must be mad to even suggest that.
Our priority should be to protect the minority Hindus of Bangladesh, not to protect Sheikh Hasina.
So I need to understand from you why you think, 1 minute, why is it if she's saying, 1 minute, we hand over Sheikh Hasina to Bangladesh so that she can be lynched on the streets of Dhaka and that will make Hindus safe?
No, you are questioning the Muslim clergy of India. You are questioning.
Yes, I'm asking the Muslim clergy of India. I want the Muslim clergy of India to condemn the killing of Hindus in Bangladesh and to admit there is an ongoing Hindu genocide in Bangladesh.
You want me to speak? I think an Indian Muslim
the Hindus who are being tortured. Because if they had concerns, then when the government wanted to implement the CAA,
Bangladesh is going through the worst of the human rights crisis at the moment. For the first time, I agree to Sushil Pandit.
What kind of human rights are you talking about? Handing over of Sheikh Hasina, is that human?
Rolling red carpet to Sheikh Hasina.
You want another mob lynching to take place. What kind of human rights are you talking about? Today you are showing concern, but that is fake. That is fake. When we were speaking of Citizenship Amendment Act,
and we need to question that.
Then the Hindus should come to Bangladesh, and then those who are being persecuted on religious grounds, that is the reason that you were against the act. And today what are you talking? See, this kind of Islamic extremism, this kind of Islamic extremism which is going unchecked, it is very alarming for India. It is very alarming for West Bengal. Because it is very alarming for West Bengal also. I tell you why. Because this is precisely the direction in which Mamata Banerjee is going. This is precisely the direction in which, listen to me, please keep on listen. Please listen. Please listen. This is exactly what is happening in West Bengal. This person is not ready to listen.
You only worry about Hindu polarization in India.
Do you have any idea that what is happening in Bangladesh today?
You further want to raise the sentiments of Hindus in India against Muslims. But you don't care about the Hindus of Bangladesh.
You care nothing about Harbinder Das and Chandan Das.
I want to protect my Hindu brothers of Bangladesh.
Just like this, a Hindu father and a son were killed in West Bengal. Whatever is happening in Bangladesh is happening in Bengal. But you don't have eyes to see. Because you don't have eyes to see, and you will not speak against, because those who are killing Hindus in Bengal are also Muslims.
What's happening in Bangladesh?
Then you do not open your voice. You do not open your mouth. And Mamata Banerjee also doesn't. Because this suits her politics. That is why she's quiet.
You are still doing politics.
This is why she's quiet. This is why she's quiet on being killed in Bangladesh. Just have came and just keep your mouth shut. Please keep your mouth shut. Don't show your crocodile tears. We know. You are very happy that Hindus are being killed. We know that you are very happy that Hindus are being killed, and shame on you. Shame on you.
That's a
that mob lynching should happen. You want that mob lynching should happen. Shame on you.
You're talking about Mamata Banerjee, but you have not condemned what's happening in Bangladesh. You have not questioned the government of India.
We are
that they should take hardships of the diplomatic steps.
They should be called back to India. Hindus should be given citizenship.
Bangladesh ambassador right away.
Who are opposing CA. It were people like you who said that no, Bangladeshi Hindus shouldn't come. That is why you didn't want that the implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act should take place.
for their family in
The
Bangladesh.
government, Arnab, the government could see all this happening. That is the reason that Citizenship Amendment Act was
Still they are
implemented.
rolling red
That is the
carpet for
reason
the
that
Sheikh
people are getting
Hasina.
citizenship. Because we very well knew that these Muslims in Bangladesh will butcher the Hindus like this. And the same scenario, they are trying to give the
you
same
again
picture
coming
here
to Muslim and
here in
Hindus
India
because
also.
you still you could not live without
Yes,
doing
it is.
Hindu-Muslim.
Hindus are being
You
killed by
just cannot
Muslims.
live without
And
doing
that's
this
the fact.
Hindu-Muslim.
That's the
You
fact.
the
That's the
Hindus
fact.
of Bangladesh.
Hindus are being
You
murdered
don't
by
care
Muslims,
about
and that's the
the
fact.
Hindus of India
That's the
also.
fact.
You only
That
care
is
about your
happening in
petty
Bengal
politics. Your
That is happening in Bengal also.
You're doing Hindu-Muslims. Doing
Muslim
No, my concern is, and may I come in for now, Tala, listen. I'm very concerned. And the reason I'm very concerned is because of the demography in Bengal, Jharkhand and Assam, parts of Northeast, where lots of places bordering Bangladesh have become Muslim majority. Now, and Muslim majority means this is Bangladeshi infiltrators. My concern is, and your concern also as an Indian should be, that if the Jamaat-e-Islami takes over Bangladesh, which means if Pakistan takes over Bangladesh again, what is the national security impact on Bharat? This should be a collective concern. We are not talking in isolation today. I'm looking into the future. There is, I am sure you'll agree with me that today, if Muslim majority parts of India bordering Bangladesh become demographically unstable, large sections of the population who are born owe their allegiance and their loyalty to Bangladesh, not to India. Remember, Bangladeshi infiltrators, they are Bangladeshi. They will hide, but one day they will come out in large numbers and threaten our internal security. Right? They will become like sleeper cells. But if I start saying, Atikur, that we must have a anti-Bangladeshi immigrant infiltrator campaign, you'll say I'm targeting Muslims. I am saying today, Sushil, maybe we have the next 6 months window to fix this problem. If we don't fix this problem in 6 months and throw every infiltrator out, crores of them, throw them across the border. Tell them, go to hell. Militarize the Eastern Corridor. Hyper-militarize the chicken's neck.
I agree with
we
you,
are
Arnab,
we are
have
sitting
reached an
on
inflection
dynamite
point.
out here.
We have reached an inflection point. And what Talha was saying, very disingenuously, blaming Hasina Wajed for... He very well knows that those who are lynching Hindus in Bangladesh are the ones who are enemies of Hasina. He knows that is the conversion.
About Sheikh Hasina? Why are you so worried about
Sheikh Hasina's enemies are the ones not helping Hindus in Bangladesh.
It's not about supporting Hasina or not supporting Hasina. It's about Muslims who are believing on their ideologies to kill non-believers, and they're doing the same in every western part of the nations in the world. Either be in India or in Australia or in everywhere in the world, Muslims are doing what their religion is teaching them. They don't believe in secularism. They believe in only one thing, to kill kafirs. For Hindus, they are kafirs. Speak to them. Ask this person, whether they believe in secularism or not. Whether they believe in secularism or not. They believe in only one thing, to kill Hindus, whether be it Bangladesh, whether be it Pakistan, whether it be Afghanistan, or be Jewish. Everyone who disbelieves in Allah is a kafir to them.
Nothing about international politics, international diplomacy, but they will only shout Hindu-Muslim, Hindu-Muslim.
No, come back to the question. Do you think, come back to the question. A core question tonight is, when I see the images from Bangladesh, my fundamental point of concern is, what if tomorrow, and it's not a very unlikely what if, Sushil, what if tomorrow a similar situation is created in Muslim majority parts of India neighboring Bangladesh, where Hindus are targeted and lynched, and this is a serious issue, because Mamata Banerjee is quiet. You see, Tausif, she's not said anything about it. She needs to, she feels by speaking, not speaking.
Ready to erupt.
Yes, Sushil, what do you think?
You have half a dozen Kashmirs ready to erupt at different parts. It is a Kashmir-like situation. Hindus will have to vacate their homes and run for shelter. And that is when Pakistan and Bangladesh would intervene.
Keep on
Change the demography.
You don't want to
After
talk
they
about
have
what
gained
Mamata Banerjee has
advantage.
said.
This is what is going to happen.
Arnab, Hindus are running everywhere.
They are going to
Hindus are running
repeat what they
everywhere.
did in
Beat India
Kashmir.
or beat Bangladesh. Beat Pakistan, beat Afghanistan. Hindus are running
He is
everywhere.
murdering Mahatma Gandhi and his ideals. And you are keeping mum on it.
What they did in
And
Kashmir.
Mamata Banerjee has spoken by renaming the Karma Shri program to Mahatma
government, but
Gandhi
still
scheme.
the Hindus are in khatra. Wow, wow. Stop this polarization. Stop creating this myth of Hindu phobia.
Slogan have been raised in Ajmer. Arnab, ask them question. Ask them this question. Why Sartan Sidhuda slogan has been raised in Bachistani? Ask
The central government. The BSF is under.
Are you raised Sartan Sidhuda slogan everywhere, every part of your government?
The central.
Why Sartan Sidhuda slogan have been raised in Dargah? Why Sartan Sidhuda slogan has been raised?
I am asking again. I am asking again that, and it's a, you see Priyanka, I want Priyanka to come in right now with Harish. Viewers, my concern is not as much, and let me say this, is not as much with the internal security situation of Bangladesh. My concern is one with the situation of Hindus in Bangladesh, because I genuinely feel that they are facing a genocide. And I want all my Muslim brothers and sisters in India to speak up for Hindus in Bangladesh. Second point, Priyanka, I am concerned about Mamata Banerjee's approach. How can the Chief Minister of West Bengal remain quiet when Hindus are being killed in Bangladesh?
Not only quiet, she's shamelessly saying that, I will still not allow Citizenship Amendment Act to be implemented here. Still, she's continuing with that same thing. Again, instead of having some empathy for those who have been killed, and this person who was talking here, that Muslims, will he accept that these Hindus who are being killed by Muslims? And that's a fact. That's a fact. They are also pushing the Hindus in West Bengal to that extent only, where they are becoming homeless.
What Mamata Banerjee has
spoken. In places like Murshidabad, in places like Diamond Harbour, Hindus are being
she's busy making Babri.
Forced to. Hindus are being
forced.
Yeah, Hindus are being forced to leave their home. They are becoming homeless, and this is being done under the supervision of Mamata Banerjee, just to satisfy her pursuit of power. See, under history has shown us consequences, and we need to learn from this. This is an alarming situation, and this alarming situation is already in Bengal. The visual disturbs me so much because similar visual was here in West Bengal in Murshidabad, where a father and a son duo, Chandan Das and Hari Govindo Das, were killed by Muslims. And yes, they were killed by Muslims.
And I'm asking this because there is no point being in denial. We have seen the fact that there has been Hindus have been forced to leave their homes, as we saw in Murshidabad, in Muslim majority areas of Bengal already. Hindus have been forced to leave their home. Palayan ho chuka hai. Mamata Banerjee didn't speak then. So I am very concerned. See, you have
Sandesh Khali.
Yeah. So
even in Calcutta, places like Matia Burj, places like Park Circus.
And I saw that one of the people with a cabinet rank in Mamata Banerjee government was saying that what if the Muslims come and storm Kolkata? So you see, we need to be extremely careful.
And they are openly saying that 70% of us will kill the 30% and throw them in Bhagirathi. And then he says you're doing Hindi Muslim. This is what is happening. How dare you say, staying in India, that 70% will kill the 30% and throw them in the river. And then you say don't do Hindu Muslim. You have started it. You have already started doing that.
This is the irony. Women were being raped, Hindus being migrated, where Muslims are in majority. Now they shamelessly come and speaks for their right. They shamelessly come and speaks for Shaheen Bagh.
No, I'm letting you have more than 30 seconds. I'm just saying today, that we need to, I will keep hammering that point, that I believe that we need to either militarize our northeast, our Chicken Neck area, the 32-kilometer corridor, and all of Bengal and the border with Bangladesh, we deeply militarize it. Otherwise, we will fall prey to a Pakistani plan to make Bangladesh into an extremely radicalized extension of Pakistan. and then open another front. And I don't know why we are not seeing it, because I'm sure the military, I've seen reports of military movement and plans in the northeast and along the Chicken's Neck, but I still think the situation is dangerous. I would like to hear, Harish, a collective voice of the Muslim community and public pressure being built on them to speak up, because this is not a religious issue. It's a national security issue.
Now allow me to come.
Totally. I'll go ahead.
Yes, allow me now.
I'll give a 100% chance to Mr. Arnab's viewpoint, because it is more than beyond a Muslim persecution or Hindu persecution. It is a threat to the Indian national security, where the border covers almost 32 kilometers, which runs deeply into the Bangladeshi, where the Muslim appeasement happens for the local politics. So we don't want to take a chance, as ISI hands is for sure in this fiasco, and we want to make sure to condemn it to the highest order. There is no second thought about it. And having said that, the geopolitical tensions which has been created by the ISI on the borders of Bangladesh, which shares with West Bengal, it is to destabilize Indian government. There is no doubt about it. So the national security advisors and whatever the measures should be taken to strengthen the borders across West Bengal and the Bangladesh should be taken as a first severe actions, along with the external affairs ministers. The push to eradicate these kind of persecutions doesn't happen anymore. Whether it happens in Bangladesh or whether it happens to any kind of minorities in anywhere across the world, it should be condemned. In regards to caste, greed and religion, there is no second thought about it.
That is why I'm asking the Muslim leaders to open their mouths and say something right now. This is not a time, Atikur, to be quiet and to give me the usual argument.
They should also apologize, Arnab, because they said that
Arnab, they only raise their cultural slogans, be it religious places or be it...
One minute.
Allow me,
Atikur Rahman. I'm letting Atikur Rahman come.
Please. Thank you.
Breaking tickers should be going right now, not just the question.
So, Arnab, thank you. So if I have heard you correctly, you need the Muslim clergy and the Muslim organizations to condemn what is going on in Bangladesh with the Bangladeshi minorities, that is the Hindu brothers and sisters. Arnab, you already have declared us that we are anti-nationals, we are hardliners, we are terrorists. For 10 long years, you have demonized the Muslim organizations in India, and now you
Atikur Rahman, if you think you are a terrorist, that is your definition.
So funny,
No, don't try this trick on me. Don't try and trick on me. 1 minute. Atikur, I will not let you get away with that. I will not let you get away with that. You're talking rubbish. It is unadulterated garbage. You need to be stopped right now. I'm repeating what I have said. I have said, on the contrary, I don't think you have an argument. I don't think you have any depth of argument. I am calling for Bangladeshis to be identified and thrown out.
They are anti-nationals. And now you need the support of the Jamaat Islami and the Tablighi Jamaat.
Ask Atikur Rahman, how many times you will have condemned? How many times you had condemned the death of Hindus, minorities,
Priyanka and this, please, two people.
How many times you condemned the rapes and abduction of Hindus in Pakistan? Ask him how many times he condemned the raising of slogans of Satam se Juda in Ajmer. Ask him how many times he condemned the death.
These infiltrators will cause the same situation here, which is happening in Bangladesh. Then why did you say that the government should not do SIR? If you are such a big nationalist, आप terrorist छोड़िए ना, terrorist छोड़िए. Whatever you think about yourself, that is your personal view. Whatever you think about yourself, that is your personal view. We are just saying this, that if you are a nationalist, if you are a nation lover, then on the first place, why did you say that SIR should not be done? Because
you
SIR
are
is
the people who have said that the Muslims in India...
Because we do not want that the same situation should happen with Hindus here in India.
To go to Pakistan
in India,
and you need us now to speak for the Hindus in
If
Bangladesh.
you consider yourself an Indian, if you consider yourself
you should have equal feeling.
Wait a minute, please don't try to direct me. Put your focus on what you...
Why did you say that SIR should not be done? And then you say that I am a nationalist and you call me a terrorist. आप अपने आप को terrorist समझे सर, इसमें आपकी गलती है, हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
एक मिनट, 1 minute. Can I 1 minute? I want to talk to him. 1 minute. Can I be on the screen with him? Atikur Rahman. 1 minute. Atikur Rahman, I'm talking to you. Please be quiet. I'm talking to you.
No.
I'm talking to you now. Be quiet. Don't say no. I'm talking to you.
You need to answer me.
Yeah.
Have you apologized to Maulana Saad? तबलीगी जमात को कितनी बार आपने एंटी नेशनल कहा और उसी तबलीगी जमात से आप कहते हैं कि आज सपोर्ट करो आपको, और हम क्यों बताएं हम सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे? हम लिखेंगे अपने तरीके से।
हम क्यों बताएं किसको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे? 1 minute. आप और हम फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आतिकुर रहमान बी क्वाइट, चुप रहिए ना 2 मिनट, चुप रहिए ना 2 मिनट। आतिकुर रहमान चुप रहिए, आपको मैं कह रहा हूं आप चुप रहिए 2 मिनट। मेरी बात सुनिए, मैं कुछ कह रहा हूं आपको, आप अपने लैंग्वेज को बदलिए। आई एम वार्निंग यू, डोंट, आप ये ऐसा कर रहे हैं, मैं नेशन की बात कर रहा हूं, रिमेन क्वाइट। व्यूअर्स, एवरीवन ऑन द स्क्रीन टुनाइट, आतिकुर रहमान विल बी क्वाइट नाउ, आई हैव हर्ड यू फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, यू लिसन टू मी, आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू वेरी डिसेंटली। आतिकुर रहमान, ये अपना कोई मुखौटा खोल के मेरे साथ बात करें, यू हैव टेकन ओवर योर मास्क फाइनली,
आपने हमको
अपना मास्क खोल रहे हैं, अभी आप हमें मांग रहे हैं, अभी हम देखेंगे आपको सपोर्ट करते हैं कि नहीं। भाई आप भारतीय हैं, आपको सपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा। नो, आर यू सीइंग द लैंग्वेज सुशील?
हिंदू माइनॉरिटीज को बांग्लादेश में किस तरह सेफगार्ड करें?
Somebody who wants
I will tell you
should flourish in the country is a terrorist.
I will tell how to rein in Mr. Yunus. I will tell you कि बांग्लादेश की जमात इस्लामी को कैसे डील करना है, हम आपको बताएंगे, और we guarantee that Hindus in Bangladesh will be safeguarded.
Atikur Rahman, first of all, stop shouting. Atikur Rahman, first stop shouting. I want to talk to you. ये hysterical मत हो ये मेरे प्रोग्राम पे. Stop being hysterical. अपनी hysteria कहीं और ले जाइए. मेरी बात सुनिए. Listen to me. Stop being hysterical. I condemn the language here of a Muslim scholar called Atikur Rahman who comes. I am asking him that all of us Indians must come together. In response to that, volume down. In response to that, everyone on, he says, हम देखेंगे, हम सोचेंगे, आपको सपोर्ट करे कि नहीं करे। अरे इंडियनों को सपोर्ट, इंडिया को सपोर्ट नहीं करोगे तो पाकिस्तान का सपोर्ट करोगे? हम देखेंगे, हम करेंगे कि नहीं? क्यों आएंगे? हम घुटनों पे आएंगे आपके पास। We'll demand your loyalty. Who are you to say हम देखेंगे, हम करेंगे? What do you mean? You're giving conditional support to your nation? Who are you to give conditional support to your nation? What are you using? You are using your position as leverage. Shame on you.
आपने डेमोनाइज किया और आज आप बोलते हैं कि मुसलमान हमको सपोर्ट करो।
मुझे तो पहले से आप पे शक था, क्योंकि आप, मुझे तो आपसे पहले से ही शक था क्योंकि आप जाकिर नाइक के सपोर्टर हैं। I always suspected you. मुझे तो इनका मुखौटा आज खुलते हुए दिखा। इन्होंने बहुत दिनों से कोशिश की है, सुशील, बहुत दिनों से कोशिश की है मॉडरेट मुस्लिम का चेहरा दिखाने, और इधर आके मॉडरेट मुस्लिम वाली लाइन करने की कोशिश करते हैं। आज इनका लाइव टेलीविजन पर इन्होंने अपना मुखौटा खोल दिया। He has removed his disguise on the program. He is a hardliner. He is a Zakir Naik supporter. He has said, I will see whether I support my country. Who will you support if you don't support your country?
हम आपसे क्यों बताएं भाई? अरे आप गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को लिखेंगे।
I have always considered Atikur Rahman.
Very interesting voice. See, he changes his line, he removes his voice. He says, we will see if we support you. We will see if we support you.
Why should I tell you?
We will see. Why should I tell you if I support India?
नहीं, हमने किया अपने तरीके से। अरे we have done it ourselves.
Who will you support if not India?
से पहले हमने कह दिया है, लिख दिया है, बता दिया है पूरी दुनिया को। Yes, किस तरह से डील करना चाहिए बांग्लादेश के मुस्लिम रेडिकल्स को। हमने उनको पैगाम भेजा है कि खबरदार अगर हिंदू माइनॉरिटीज को खतरा किया। आपको क्यों बताया भाई? आपको क्यों बताया सुशील जी? आपने हमको पहले आप माफी मांगिए तबलीगी जमात से। जितना भी आपने इल्जाम लगाया था 0.001।
Why is he dragging तबलीगी जमात into this? Because इसको ये religious मुद्दा बनाना चाहिए।
This is shocking beyond words.
Very shocking.
आप थे इसी प्लेटफॉर्म से आपने मौलाना साद को एंटी नेशनल कहा था, आपने टेररिज्म से जोड़ा था। आपने फॉरेन फंडिंग की बात की,
ये लीवरेज बना रहे हैं। मैं हिंदूज की राइट्स के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ। ही इज यूजिंग दिस मोमेंट, ही थिंक्स इट्स अ मोमेंट ऑफ आवर वीकनेस, ही थिंक्स वी आर प्लीडिंग टू हिम। ये चाह रहे हैं, ही थिंक्स, इनको लग रहा है प्रियंका कि हम इनसे दुआ मांग रहे हैं कि हमें बचाओ। कोई नहीं मांग रहा। वी नो हाउ टू डील विद द रेडिकल्स। ब्रह्मोस वेंट राइट इनटू द एलिटी हेडक्वार्टर्स।
आपको हमारी जरूरत होगी तो हम हेल्प कर देंगे।
हाँ, हम आपकी हेल्प करेंगे।
समझेगा जो अपने
मुखौटा खुल चुका है आज,
वो होता है।
He has opened his mask.
कोई अपने आप को मुसलमान या हिंदू पहले नहीं समझता। एक नेशनलिस्ट अपने आप को पहले नेशनलिस्ट समझता है। He's for the nation first. मगर आपने कहा look at the way you were saying that हम बता देंगे, हम समझा देंगे, हमारे कहने से सुन लेंगे। ISIS आपके कहने से कैसे सुन लेगा? हम समझना चाहते हैं। We want to listen. We want to understand कि ISIS आपके इतने कंट्रोल में कैसे है?
ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सन लॉ
प्रियंका लाउडर इसको
कि आपके बोलने से ISIS सुन लेगा। ऐसा क्या आपके पास में सॉल्यूशन है? No, tell us no. You said no. You said no. You said that terrorist groups will listen to you. You will control the situation. How will you control the situation? We want to know this. Sitting in India, जहाँ खा रहे हैं, जहाँ रह रहे हैं, उसको आप कहते हैं कि हम बताएंगे। हम हमसे पूछो, आके मदद मांगो। तो रह क्यों रहे हो भाई? रह क्यों रहे हो? If you think this is an extra duty which you are doing for the country, कोई आपकी गरज खाएगा, बोलेगा कर दो, तब आप करेंगे। तो वैसे ही कंट्री को तो आप अपनी कंट्री समझ ही नहीं रहे हैं। समझ ही नहीं रहे हैं। जो नेशनलिस्ट होगा वो अपने देश के लिए जान देगा। आप तो अपनी बात, आप अपनी बात नहीं दे पा रहे। जान देना तो बहुत दूर की बात होती है। एक नेशनलिस्ट, सर सुनिए मेरी बात, ध्यान से सुनिए। आप भले स्कॉलर होंगे और किस चीज में स्कॉलरी की है उसका मुझे कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, बट यू आर नॉट अ नेशनलिस्ट एंड दैट इज प्रूव्ड टुडे। You are not a nationalist and that has been proved today. Because नेशनलिस्ट वो होता है, देशभक्त वो होता है जो देश के लिए जान दे दे। आप बोलते हैं कि आप कहते हैं कि आप अपनी मदद, आप अपनी एडवाइस, आपसे कोई जाएगा, गरज खाएगा, मांगेगा, तब आप बताएंगे। तो आप कैसे नेशनलिस्ट हैं? What kind of nationalist are you?
The Muslim organizations.
Then why do you have proved yourself that nobody needs to call you names? You have proved that whenever you were saying that आप मुझे terrorist बोलते हो, आपने खुद ही prove कर दिया। आपने खुद ही prove कर दिया।
I think it's very wrong. I would like to. I mean, I feel here that I would say today, Harish, you should also speak up. That if we are, I asked a question from the point of view of national interest, and Atikur Rahman unfortunately made it an opportunity to think that we are pleading for his support to handle the situation in Bangladesh, which reveals his radicalized mindset. He's not a moderate. I always knew, because he first came on television as a Zakir Naik supporter. Basically, he's a highly radicalized man, pretending to play the moderate role. He wants to be on all sides. He's using the killing of Hindus as leverage to show his power.
This is pinching you now.
Shame on you now. Shame on. Nothing pinches me. Shame on you, Atik, for using this. No. You've revealed yourself. Harish, Tausif, Mamta should talk.
Of course, it is unwarranted, and we have the best mechanism. Keeping aside the petty politics of BJP or Congress, we are fully mechanized with our External Affairs Ministry to handle whatever the tensions across LOCs, or whether it is on the Bangladeshi border, or whether it is Nepal border, or whether it is China border. We hope our Indian diplomacy will act with a stringent way to tackle all these kind of persecutions in our neighboring countries. That is what my stand is all about.
I'll wrap it up here, viewers. This is a matter of great concern. It's not a political debate for us. And we need to stop pandering to radicals, wherever they are, in Bangladesh or in India. Ladies and gentlemen, I have got a strong response to our campaign to save the Aravalis. Some people are saying, I'm targeting the central government, I'm targeting a political party, I'm targeting the Supreme Court. Well, let me tell all those people, when it comes to an issue, I couldn't care less who thinks who's targeting whom. I'm with the people. When I'm back.
For a quick breather, Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और
An element is born.